All right, welcome everyone. We have another podcast, very special guest, a friend of mine from Brazil. We have Rafael Moraes, also known as GM Walter, the legend on Brazilian Poker Online, all-time most profitable player. Pleasure to have you, my friend. How's it going?
Hello, Jeff. Thanks for the invitation, and let's have a nice talk. And and I think you guys can cover a lot about me.
That's awesome. Well, like you said, you've done some podcasts in Portuguese. You've never done one in English. So, yeah, it's a treat. Glad to have you here. And again, it's English, not your first language, but I think you speak almost perfect English. So I'm not worried about it. Everyone at home
Come
will
on.
have a good time and it'll be good. So let's dive right in. First of all, you're in Brazil currently. You're fresh off Carnival and you're in Sao Paulo. So could you explain a little bit about Carnival? How long is it? Where does it go? What cities is it in? Explain how that is and what to expect with Carnival if you were to go visit.
Like Carnival is like a street party in the whole country. You know, like a lot of bands, a lot of artists in the streets, a lot like all the people in the streets. Like it started in the last Thursday until now, like maybe a whole week, like with partying, and the Brazil stops, man. Just tomorrow we start the year.
Oh yeah. So is that technically like the new year? It's like and not obviously December 31st, but this is like kind of measured in a new year. Like it's like a new thing.
Yes,
It's a vacation or a break point, like a winter break or a summer break, right? It's summertime in Brazil.
yes. I think it's more than New Year's Eve because like it's more day with parties. Like in the New Year's Eve we have only the 31st and the first, and okay, it's party and starting the year. But here in Carnival it's like 5 or 6 days.
Okay, and so it's actually a holiday. Banks are closed, things are shut down, the whole country just stops.
Yes, all the things are closed. All the peoples are uh, in travel to other cities to make parties and visit your relatives and something like that.
Very cool. And what is it known, is it a some part of the country it's more so celebrated than others, or like the major cities, is it just based on, all the major cities do it, or where exactly in Brazil is it?
All the major cities do it. It's crazy. But in São Paulo and Rio and Salvador is the biggest ones.
Okay, yeah, I believe I've heard that. But so like Belo Horizonte, for example, do they still celebrate? But
Also,
it'll be big, but it's not quite as big.
yes. The biggest one is Salvador. It's the biggest street carnival in the world, like 3 million people all every day, like in parties and some streets and something like that. And after that, Rio de Janeiro, and after that, São Paulo.
Very cool.
It's
And are
crazy.
you what for you? What's partying? Are you dancing? Do you drink? Celebrate? Do a little everything? And I know your wife, Lali, right?
Lali, yes.
Lali. She has her own Twitch channel. She plays poker. Is she party? You guys are going out. You just take a break and go nuts, or do you just kind of give us like what is your carnival for you guys?
Yes, we went in Salvador for the last 3 days, partying and with two more friends. And yesterday we went in São Paulo, and after this, just some rest. And after tomorrow, we starting to working again, playing and studying and living the real life.
I love it. That's awesome. All right. Well, yeah. So okay, enough. That's very interesting. I'm fascinated. I mean, my wife's Brazilian. I know about Carnival. I've actually never been. Got to do it, but interesting to hear. Tell us now a little bit. When you say you take a break from everything, what is it that you are doing currently? I want to dive back into your poker career. You still play, obviously, but I know now you're very focused. You have a huge stable and business with 4Bet, which we'll talk about, as well as the Furia GG. So, tell me a little bit about that and what you're doing nowadays, and how much poker are you playing compared to your peak or your prime, I guess, when you were playing all the time?
Nice. My poker career right now, I'm run one of the biggest stables in the world, obviously, and I think 8% of my time is to do this better. I do some lessons. I do like, I don't know to say this is in English, but I need to organize all these players. We have 300 players playing for us. We need to understand what what they need. I need to understand what I need to I need to teach them. So, and after every Sunday I play, and in series like uh, in PartyPoker, in KO series, in Poker Stars, like W Coop, Ace Coop, and something like that. I play every day, but in like nowadays, every day I brief poker, but I brief poker just to teach, to teach and to improve my game. So I play less, but I continue studying. I continue like uh, talking about hands and talk about everything related to poker.
Right.
And also, beside the scenario of poker, I have the Furia GG. It's a eSports team that I am a partner with Andre Akari. That he's also a poker player. So it's amazing. It's a different scenario. It's like we have, I think, eight different esports teams. We have CS:GO. We have League of Legends. We have Dota 2. We have a lot of games, and we're improving. We are trying to do this team one of the best in the world. So it's a nice adventure to us.
Absolutely. It's a lot. It's a lot on your plate. So you are, compared to, let's say, when you were playing primarily, what if you were playing 100, what was the most volume in poker you played? What years was that when you played just all the time, every day, the most?
Yes, I started to play poker when I was 17 or 16.
How
I
old are
don't
you now?
remember. 28.
Okay.
So around 11 years. And in the first 3 or 4 years in my career, I played every day, a lot of hours per day, and I I play to become a better player and to make money. It's
Right.
is the most important thing that like for us. So after that, I started to run the format. I started to do lessons. I started to do other things, né? And I I become to play a little less, but I play a lot. I think because we have a lot of series, online series nowadays. So like
Right.
3 months or 4 months per year, I play online, and I play live poker a lot. Also, I spent 40 or 45 days per year in Vegas. I
Right.
went to PSPC in Barcelona. I went to PP Million South America 2 weeks ago. So
Which do you prefer, live or online, when you play nowadays?
nowadays live, I think, but uh, I prefer. It's difficult to say because it's two different games. Yes, it's okay. It's poker, but online poker is totally different. Nowadays, with progressive KOs, it's a completely different.
Yeah, it seems to be heavily weighted to this now, right? It's becoming so much knockouts and different, formats, and then freeze outs and whatnot. Someone's asking in the chat if you're on Twitch. What's up, Jeff Gemmel? And the answer is, I know the answer. It's you don't stream particularly, but you do. Your wife does stream, correct? And this is
Yes.
got a page streamed up here. I've watched some, entertaining. She's a very good player as well. What got her into Twitch, and why not you? Is it a time thing? Would you consider streaming on Twitch, or are you just not for you and let her
I
do
don't
that?
have time. I don't have time because I have like other business to run, and I have the format like to do lessons. I have to improve my game, and Twitch is very difficult. And I don't play a lot of days per week every now. I don't play. I only play Sunday and one more day per week. And in series, yes, I play a lot of days, but it's very disgusting. It's very uh, stressful. So I need to focus in my game because I play super high stakes when I
Right.
play.
Right. Yeah, it's tricky. It does. I mean, I'm sure you've discussed. I would be interested. What do you think? Let's say, how many tables do you play? The most you'll play when you're playing on a Sunday?
Around 12, 14.
12 or 14. How would you
Yes.
equate? How many would you say it's like when you add a Twitch stream? Like, let's say you're playing X amount of tables, 12. If you add in a Twitch stream, how many tables do you think that adds? Like, equate. Have you ever thought about it?
Maybe 6 or
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a big undertaking. It's a big difference. You have to sacrifice
Yes.
some focus, some time, some strategy, all that. So yeah, but what about, you don't think it would be worth it to have a Twitch stream where maybe you just have it and in case you're deep or something, or you just don't want to maybe show how you play per se, or it's just like not worth it because you'd only do it once in a while. Like I just wonder, because guys like you, I feel like would turn, you could have a stream and you'd have a huge show overnight. You'd have crazy numbers immediately. Even if it means you only stream once a month or on Sundays, even at the end, let's say you're playing 12 tables and now you're down to 2 and you're like, all right, you know what?
It's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. Two times I went with Lali in her stream.
Yeah.
So we were talking about a final table and talking about a lot of things about poker, but not me playing with me playing. But it's a nice idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think. Yes.
How many guys on 4Bet? Are there guys streaming? Some guys, or because it's kind of hard, right? They're in a stable, they're playing, and same thing. You're giving up a lot of, not even about your game, but just focus and play. So are there some guys that do stream or no?
Yes, I think we are 2 or 3 guys streaming. We have one of the biggest streaming in Brazil. Nelepo 10 is the screen name, but only in Portuguese. But he has nice numbers of viewers and a lot of people see him. It's nice.
That's awesome. You got to send me his name. I'll have to check it out. That'd be cool. I'll send me his name on WhatsApp. Remind me, or I'll send you a
Okay.
WhatsApp web reminder just so let's oh, you're already there. You're a professional. You're a gamer. You're okay. Look at that. You're already.
I think he's live now. Maybe yes, he's live now. Yes, it's all good.
Let's just check it out. Nelepo 10, just because. Oh, he's got the verified everything. He's serious deal. Very cool. So it's great, man. It's fun. Twitch is fun. It's a great thing, but of course you give up a bit of edge with playing. But it looks like it's overlay, and of course you also want you want some of these, you want your guys to grow and build their own stuff too. So it's a fine line, and obviously you don't want everyone doing it, but it's good for the brand, I'm sure too, right? With 4Bet, good player promoting and playing. So that's it's cool. What do you think about YouTube? You guys have a YouTube channel, 4Bet too?
Yes.
Let me pull that up.
I think, I don't know if it's live right now.
You still have pretty big following, 30,000 subscribers, and you do some great players in there. So there is, it's been a bit since you put videos, but there's still a lot of content.
Yes, we have a lot of content from Brazilian players that want to improve your game. We have a lot of tips, a lot of scenarios with my life, my experiences, and experience of other 4Bet players. So it's very nice from the Brazilian community.
It's very cool.
Also, I have a YouTube channel with my wife Lali, but we only had a vlog from our last trip from Vegas. But this year we start to do a lot of content with tips and something like that. I think Lali and let me show you just a second. It's Lali and Rafa Poker. Lali and Rafa Poker.
Maybe that come up. No.
Uh,
You send me on
here
YouTube or on WhatsApp.
right now, yes.
I'll
But
check.
yes,
Well,
only seven videos with our last trip in Vegas, and we gonna start to produce a lot of more content this
that's
year.
fun, man.
So
Very cool.
yes,
I'm gonna
nice.
subscribe right now. Check that out. That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. Well, so you're doing that. How? Tell me. I want two things about how you. Two important things in your life. About one, how did you start playing poker? Because Brazil poker, it's gotten very popular now, but originally, this was I think gambling in general. I mean, poker, gambling, call it gambling, gaming. It's not
Yes.
the most popular thing, or it didn't used to be. It's getting very popular, catching a lot of wind. How did you first get into poker? You saw on TV, friend. How did you start?
I used it to play chess in my childhood. So,
Okay.
uh, and when I was like 15 or 16, a lot of chess players starting to play uh, poker, because chess you can't earn some money. It's very difficult, and with poker, 10 years, 12 years ago, it's easier than now to make some money in SNGs, in some small stakes cash games and something like that. And after all, a friend of mine that started playing poker gave me like $5, and I'm starting playing like SNGs and some small stakes cash games, and I'm starting to make my bankroll. And after that, I'm starting to doing good in 180 SNGs, and I'm starting to play some MTTs, $1, $2, $5, $10, and after that, I win some tournaments like $10,000 or $15,000, and in that time, all the things started.
It just started going from there. And what? How about your
Yes,
family? Do you have brothers, sisters?
yes, I have one brother and one sister. My brother is 1 year, I don't know, on one less than me. Sorry,
Younger, yeah, yeah.
yes, younger than me, and my sister is 7 or 8 years younger than me.
Very cool. And what do they think about you as a poker phenom star?
Man, my father and my mother don't understanding because it's like 10 years ago. No one knew poker. What is this? I don't know how you withdraw your money, how you play. But it's like cheating. I don't know. It's like a gambling game.
Right.
What are you gonna think with your life and something like that? It's crazy. But when I'm starting to win with poker, I was in university. I entered in one of the best universities in Brazil, that called USP, University from São Paulo,
Okay.
and it's like without paying mensality, it's like the best engineer university in Brazil.
Okay.
And my father also is graduated in this university, so
Right.
it's not it becomes the things more difficult. So I started to talk with my father. Father, I think it's my chance to do a different thing that I love it. I'm only 18. If the things goes wrong, I can enter again in university. I'm only 18,
Right.
and he's very confident about me. He's and the only thing that told me it, son, I need a book to understand how this game works. And in in the 5 minutes, I take a book with rules and with history of poker and gave to my father. And in the other day, he read all the pages and, okay, son, let's go. I'm with you, and let's That's right.
Vamos. Yeah. Does he play at all?
Sorry?
Does your father play poker at all?
Yes. After that, he started to play, and he plays like some SNGs, but only for cents and something like that.
Yeah, my father as well. Same thing around college, and when I got into it, he then got into it, and he really liked it. Same thing. My dad went to University of Pennsylvania. My mom went to Brown. Very like heavily education family, and it was a bit of like, oh, hey, I played soccer in college, and then started basically just playing poker. And it was like same kind of thing. They're very supportive, but it's a little concerning when you hear your son is going to do that. But like you said, at that age, it's a big difference if someone comes to you and they're 35 and they say, hey, I want to be on Team 4Bet, and I want to start, I have a family, I have kids, and I want to start playing poker. It's a big difference than when you're 18, 19, 20, early 20s. Like you said, there's always way, you can try something, you can sample it. You're not stuck in that forever, and it's not as much pressure to perform or to deliver. And if it doesn't work for you, you kind of move on and do something else, right? So I think that is important to realize that it does matter a bit at the starting point. So it sounds like your family was very reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good. That's nice though, right? Because if they're like, no, you can't do it, they just don't give you a chance, then you really want to do it and love it, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to share, to be, that it can cause issues. So that's good to hear that you had support. I do want to dive over here because speaking of Twitch, I do want to mention something pretty cool about your career. And it happened on Twitch a bit, right? Because you ended up winning $1 million, which in poker, listen, there's tournaments live, even very rare. Party has their main stop. It's $1 million to first 10 million guarantees online. There's a few. It's very rare a chance to actually win $1 million online, and you were able to do that. Pretty special. What was your biggest score before that? Because you're I think you're the most. Is it true you're the most profitable online Brazilian player of all time? Is that true, or is that
yes?
I think pretty cool. But what was your biggest score? Like
I think before this score, I think also was the biggest profitable player in Brazil. So
right.
With this 1 million extra, so okay.
Yeah, it got shot up a bit. So what was your highest score though? The Sunday, did you ever win $1 million? Like
online or live?
Yeah. But we'll show your online, or your live, and then both. What was your largest live cash ever and your largest online?
My largest live cash was in 25K Monte Carlo EPT high roller. I made third place and I won, I think, some of 600,000. I think.
Oh yeah, I see that 2016 in May, and you have a lot of good scores: 40Ks, 30, 190. You play how much of the Brazil tournaments do you play? Do you try to get to most of those BSOPs and stuff, or no?
Yeah, it's only BSOPs, I think, and WSOP Circuit Brazil.
It's so funny. Your first ever score, at least final table, a heads up tournament, but a $300 tournament. I feel like everyone on the show is always final tables their first event, and maybe part of the reason that gets you in the love of the game. Was that the first tournament you ever played, or did you play a couple before and not cash?
Yes, I played a couple before, but my first time in Vegas, I only played tournaments till $600, I think, just to experience the sensation playing live in Vegas, and because I was only 21 when in my first time in Vegas.
All right, I want to go over that and talk about that, but real quickly as well, just to kind of, this is pretty special because I don't even know. I've been in poker a long time, and I don't have, other than you, I don't know if I've know anyone that's won, like a friend of mine or close, that's actually won $1 million score online. So tell me about that tournament. What happened? You actually knocked me out of that tournament. Do you remember that?
Yes,
I didn't know it was you.
Kings against Queens.
Kings and Queens. And the sick part was day one was like 11 or 12 hours, and I had a good stack, and I busted literally, I don't know, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes left in the day to I'm a big kid now, your name, And
Yeah, the big kid.
on your Instagram the next day, like big stack, and it was whatever. And I'm like, no way. And then you end up winning the tournament. So that's actually kind of crazy in itself. I just remembered that, but I'm glad it went to a good place. But talk to me about this tournament. What happened? How did you do it? How do you win $1 million online?
Man, I think it was crazy. It was crazy. When I remembered like the sensation, the time, how the tournament is going with my stack, and it was running a BSLP São Paulo in the exact time that the tournament run. So I have a lot of friends in my house because I have a big house here in São Paulo, and I have a lot of friends that doesn't live in São Paulo. So they, when there are some tournaments here in São Paulo, they come to my house and spend some time here, have some bedrooms to them and something like that. So I played like the BSLP man, and I busted, and I came to home, and I registered in the venue, and I made like a very nice stack in the day one. I think 200 big blinds. I don't know, because it's super deep tournament. It's crazy. It's like 30 minutes blinds, and like with blinds like ta ta ta. It's crazy. And after in the day two, I start increasing my stack, and I finished the day two with like 200 big blinds also. I think it's like a main event World Series of Poker tournament, because in all of the parts of the tournament, I have more than 100 big blinds. It's crazy. So
sick. It's sick. Have you ever played a tournament with that kind of structure? Really, maybe the Party Million 10K, very good, but there's not many that you actually get to play like that. I mean, it's almost too good, right? It's like very deep and long, but for good players, it's pretty nice. And so then you arrived at the final table. What was that feeling like? You were like, wow, this is, because how much was it buying?
2600.
2600.
Yes.
And I'm biased because I play 97% of my volume on Party Poker. We rock them right here. I rep it. I love it. I live, breathe Party Poker. I was there's some good stuff. There's good sites, good tournaments out there. This was on ACR. And had you played a lot of volume there before? Like, do you play that a regular schedule on Sunday? Do you add in, or not much?
Only Sundays, yes. Only Sundays.
So you add in Sunday. So in your mind, because again, Party Poker, Poker Stars, 888, they've been around forever. It's like people, or you have people playing there, but it's not part of your repertoire. Was there a part of you that was wondering, if I win $1 million, like how is it going to work? Because if you don't play a lot on there, I mean, that's a big number to hit on an online tournament in a site. So was that, when you won it, what was your first thought? Were you super excited and you're like, wow, how am I going to get this million, or what went through your head?
And I'm super excited. My wife, Lali, was streaming with my friends.
Yeah, we were you weren't streaming, but it was actually, she was like playing your hand, had the table up, which is pretty crazy. And she was going nuts. And your friends were all there too. So yeah, I mean, that's insane. That's a crazy amount of excitement.
I have a video in my Instagram that one of my partners shows the exact time that I won the tournament. I'm coming to my oh yeah, there, that's
this one.
No, in the left. Yes, this one.
Let me see if it might be loud on the thing. Hold on.
This is the exactly time that I won.
They had it on the big screen too.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. It's Thiago?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Hug it out. $1 million. Yeah, man. That's special. What a moment.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was crazy. Yes, that's my house. That the inferior part, and in the other part, like my office and something like that.
That's unbelievable. So, all right. So you win the $1 million, and then, like I said, I play 97% Party Poker, but people, on ACR, I actually had one of my biggest scores ever as well. I won the $1 million Sunday. It was like a 500. I got 141K score and also got sorted in Bitcoin. So tell me a little bit about the process on how you got paid. And I believe maybe you set a world record, or how does it work? Because I see Phil's watching. Phil Nagy's watching the stream. He's excited because he remembers how crazy that was. But how did it go? It was like one shot and it was in Bitcoin. Is that right?
Yes, like when I won the tournament, like 2 minutes later, Phil calls me and, man, congratulations! It's the biggest tournament that ACR has made, and it's amazing that a Brazilian player won it, and your prize is already in your Bitcoin wallet. And man, when I open my Bitcoin wallet, what $1 million in my wallet from Bitcoins, and come on, please hold Bitcoin, hold.
Yeah, stay where it's at, right? That's yeah. How did it do? How did it do in the like weeks following? Did it stay relatively stable, or did it go up? Did you actually bank any extra volatility with it at the time?
Man, I sleep after that, and in the next day he dropped like $600. Man, oh, come on.
No, man. Oh, he's watching right now. I'm gonna put Phil on for a second, just because he loves poker. He loves this stuff, and he can explain. I think it was a world record set, right?
Yes.
Or something. Hold on, Phil. We got the man, the myth, the legend on here. I want you to explain, because I know you love poker almost more than anyone. You're watching, and you were couldn't wait to come in here. Let me put you on speaker, and just could you explain the world record, or what happened exactly? I'm going to put you on speaker. 2 seconds. All right, guys, this is Phil Nagy on the phone. He can't help it. The guy's active. He's everywhere. Phil, we got your man on the phone. You guys set history. Tell me a little bit about what happened and what actual world record or what took place there on that score.
So yeah, first of all, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a huge sweat. We had Guinness here, and we broke it was the biggest cryptocurrency payment in poker history.
Wow. 1 million flat USD. That's a lot of reais. That's like
1,050,000 and some pennies.
1,050,000 and some change, and that was so it's like 4 million reais. That's exciting. That's a little extra currency there, but that's awesome. So that was congrats. That was a great event. I know it surpassed your expectations. You did it again. And there'll be more. So that's great. And as Phil, I was just saying, again, I'm PartyPoker, but I really do appreciate you doing what you do and being active in the community. And that's a special moment. And I had a big score myself, got paid in BTC with no issues. And I think that's good. It's important for people to know.
I like what both the party you're doing and what you're doing, what we're doing is it's all, good for poker, right? And I think it's to think that nobody realizes that we're all in business doesn't really make any sense. We're poker players. Everybody plays on different sites. That's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
It's right now we just pull together and be good for poker. And hey, it's good to talk to you guys. I don't want to hijack your stream.
Yeah, no worries.
Pretty big sweat.
Yeah, that was fun. You're also a luck box because his lovely wife has her Twitch stream and got to catch that moment and part of Twitch history as well. So that was that was special. But all right, Phil, I appreciate you calling in. Congrats on the world record on that, and we'll be continuing on with Rafael here. All right, see you. Bye, Phil. All right, well, Phil Nagy, I'm telling you, that guy doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't miss a podcast. He doesn't miss a tweet. He loves poker, and that's cool. I'm glad you guys got to share.
He's amazing.
And that's got to be great for the ACR in Brazil, right? Like, probably a lot of people don't play it or know it. The fact that like people are like, oh, you're gonna get, how's it work, and that you got paid right away. That's great. So, congrats on that historic score. That's gonna be hard to top. You don't get many shots at $1 million online these days. So, give me a bit of breakdown on volume that you do play though, because I'm curious. PartyPoker making big moves, taking away the HUD, which is heads up display for the statistic type of stuff, changing the username, pretty monumental moves. How do you feel about those changes? And do you think it's good? Would you recommend that for all sites, or where do you stand on those two issues?
I think it's interesting, like some chance to become the poker a better environment, but I don't know about the exactly how it gonna grow the site. I don't know if like, okay, party poker don't have any more HUD, so every like recreative guy goes to party poker and starts to play. No, I think it's okay, like thinking like with a recreative mind, but I don't know exactly if it's a nice thing to start to grow like party poker.
Right.
It's very difficult to me to explain in English because it's not my native language, but I think you understand about my concern. I think one nice thing that they did is in satellites they put all the real names in the tournaments. It's amazing for me. Like
Oh, wait. What you mean if you're playing a
a
satellite now,
satellite,
it shows your actual name?
yes,
I didn't.
my
I
real
really,
name.
that must be new then, because that wasn't
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. It's like two weeks or 1 week ago, and
Oh,
it's very nice.
yeah, that's cool. I think I remember we talked about that, and I know it was going to get implemented. I should know that it was that released, but because the last satellites I played, I haven't played in a bit. I haven't seen that. Makes sense. So then I guess your name is known on Party if you play a satellite. You can just look in and see, right? Oh no, you don't even know.
Yeah.
It just says the real name. It doesn't say what your actual screen name is.
Yes, my real name. Yes,
Real
Rafael
name.
Moraes.
Right.
Yes,
Then
when I I
it doesn't
I
say your name, and then here's your screen name on Party. It just says your real name during that tournament, right?
yes, exactly.
Okay, makes even more sense. Very cool. That's awesome. I didn't know they implemented that yet.
Yes.
Okay, and so if you were on a Sunday now, give me your breakdown in volume. What do you play? 100% of your pie. What volume are you playing on what site?
Sorry. How many tournaments I play in which
No, like
night?
if out of 100%. So if you say 50% Party, 50% Stars, or
Okay, okay, okay.
30% where, like roughly, like what's your breakdown in the sites?
I think 50% on SARS, 30% on Party, and 20% in the other sites. I think 3 or 4 more sites because I play one tournament in every different site.
Right.
Like
Yes.
Poker Stars Span, like Winamax, like
Mhm.
GG and ACR. So I
Right.
think something like that: 50 stars, 30 Party, and 20% the rest.
It's nice too, right? Because you can basically, if you have all the platforms, you could take what you believe is the best tournaments from each of those and play. So it's you get a nice schedule together. What's your thought on online poker and what's the climate like in Brazil at the moment? So how do you feel poker is overall, and how do you feel it is in Brazil?
It's difficult to me about like the road market because I don't know about like the micro regions, like
Hmm.
I'm not a specialist, but I think the poker is growing. I think we don't have America in the market, in online market. We don't have France, Portugal. We don't have a lot of countries like closed markets. So I think after Black Friday, poker start to grow and start to become more solid. Online poker become more solid, and okay, it could be a professional, it could be a solid market that all the people, all the business can run about this. Uh, and in Brazil, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. It's totally crazy. Uh, year by year, live poker is growing, online poker is growing, my team is growing, PPP poker and EU poker, like apps poker is growing. It's crazy. A lot. Poker becomes cool in Brazil. It's the most difficult thing to do in a marketing like that. It's very difficult. We have now 10 years ago I had fear. Fear or some I wasn't feeling good to say I'm a professional poker player 10 years
Mm,
ago.
right.
And right now I have 1500. followers in my social media, and I have a lot of people that like me.
Way more
I
than
have
100. You got 40,000
yes 40,000.
or more.
Sorry,
More
yes,
on Instagram
yes.
alone. Yeah. You know, it's funny. My wife, her English also very good. But she has the numbers is all. She'll say like the numbers get like mixed up between the thousands and hundreds and stuff. But yeah, you have a massive following.
Yes,
And
500,000. Yes.
yeah, you got a lot. You got a lot of
50,000.
attention. And you get noticed? Do people stop you on the streets or Brazil? I mean, in poker, I'm sure at BSOP and places, right? Everyone knows who you are. But in Brazil, like, is it Akari, you, Felipe Ramos, and
Yes.
there's a few guys that are kind of the faces of Brazil, in my opinion, at least now.
Yes.
Do people come? Do you ever get stopped randomly in Sao Paulo, and the guy's like, "Oh, hey"?
Yes, a lot of times. A lot of times. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like I feel like a famous guy. I was walking in the street with Lali, and oh, please, I'd like to take a picture with you. Like more
Awesome.
than 20 or 30 times in my life, like in the last year. It's crazy. It's
That's
nice.
awesome.
Yes,
No, it's cool. It's
I
honestly,
like it. Yes.
it's a nice bit of fame too. It's fun, right? Because it's fun and it's cool. But it's like if you're like a Neymar level of celebrity, you can't go outside, you can't walk around, and you have to like almost be undercover. So it's nice to be once in a while someone says, "Hey," or "I like what you're doing," and or whatever. And yeah, that's awesome. And tell me about the Furia a little more, because that is something, obviously, Neymar well. I know you play poker with him a fair amount. Akari and him are very close. I know you're friends with him as well. How is he involved? Is he he's part of the team or no? Or does he? Because I
No,
know
he's only the biggest fan from Furia, and we love it because Neymar is, I think, the one of the most famous personalities in the world, and
right,
he's enormous. Nah? He made like stories, and whoa, this becomes a big boom in Brazil and in the world. So it's very nice for us and for Furia that he loved the game and he loved our corporation.
right.
But it's amazing for us, and we are trying to go bigger and bigger with Furia and with his help.
Yeah, and I saw because congrats. I see that you guys did get officially sponsored by Nike, which is a big deal. I mean, to get an esports team and get one of the major brands in the world.
Yes, we are the first esports team in the world that Nike has a sponsorship. Yes, it's crazy.
It's very, very exciting. So what do you love more now? Do you play how is your esports games? What's your best game you like to play, or you think more fun, or the best you're at? The best
We have two very good teams in Furia. That is CS:GO,
Mhm.
CS:GO, Counter Strike. We have one of the best teams in the world. We are in world ranking in the position 15,
Okay.
and we have a very nice team also in the game League of Legends, and we are playing like the CBLOL. It's like a Brazilian championship of League of Legends. It's very nice, and trying to go to the World Cup and something like that. It's
And
crazy.
what about for you personally? Do you play now esports at some, or same as poker, like you like it, but you only get to play once in a while? It's not, you're not playing hours a day.
I'm very bad. I
You're not.
don't know how to play League of Legends. I don't know. It's very difficult to me, like just to hang out because I don't understand
Right.
what's going on in the game. And CS:GO, I love it. I play, but I'm very bad also.
Right. No, I understand. I'm with you on that. It's fun. It's good, but there's only so many hobbies and things you can do, right? You can't just do everything or you'd be a fish in the game. So very cool. What's you is more which do you enjoy more working on? Say Furia or 4Bet, or is it just completely different?
It's completely different. I'm the majority of my time I spent in 4Bet poker team. Like in the last couple months, I spent a lot of time in Furia because I'm starting to understand our business plan. I'm starting to understand what we need to become bigger and something like that. But I stop it, and only Andre and my other partners is still working on Furia, and I only is like the investor. And in Forbet, no, I'm investor, I'm partner, and I'm worker.
Right. Very cool. And what's your plans for poker coming up? Will you play the World Series main event? Are you going to Vegas this summer, or not making that trip?
Yes, come on, man. I love Vegas. I need the bracelet.
Got to get the bracelet for sure. Right. How many years have you been going now?
Since my 21st, so 8 years.
Wow.
I made 21 in 2012.
Yeah, there it
Yes,
is. I'm looking at your head and mob. Your first time you would going out there, not too much activity, but then next year, 2013. So yeah,
Today, this year's will be my 90 year in a row.
Very cool.
My
And
90th year in a row.
where do you guys do a house in Vegas, or do you stay in a hotel? Do you rent a house with a bunch of friends?
Yes, I rent a house with Andre, Akari, and Bozano. It was a friend of us, and we spent like there 40 days with our families.
I know Bazzano.
Sorry?
I said I know Bazzano very well. That's where's his win? That he had that very big win where he scored in
yes,
Brazil. He won the side event, the 1K. Very cool. He was super happy. Great guy. And I went to your house last summer as well, like watched the World Cup game. I think last year I remember you guys had that house, and there was like all the Brazilians over watching World Cup game. It's very fun. Very good. There's a huge community, of course, of poker players, and you do feel it's growing though in Brazil. Like right now, you feel like the poker is getting more popular. There are kids that are 21 in college, or people playing.
Yes. Now, poker is so cool in Brazil right now. Like the people with 18 years, 19, 20s, like see poker like, whoa, it's amazing. It's amazing lifestyle, traveling and playing some cards, and it's crazy. So it is difficult because the professionals need to have some responsibility, because it's not easy. The majority of people will not earn money with poker, and we need to explain this to our market.
Yes.
It's like football, it's like soccer, it's like NFL. Everyone wants to be the one of the best players in these esports, but it's only 1%, less than 1%, that will be like one of the best, that win money, earn money with this professional.
Yeah, I think that's a great point you make. It's also part of, like you said, the word responsibility. It's true with yourself, others that are sponsored, have deals. You need to be very realistic. It's like you don't want to sell a dream and not be transparent. It's the same thing for me. I love poker. It's amazing. It's a great game. I do a lot of media, a lot of other stuff, a lot of stuff with it, but got to let people know exactly that it's not for everyone. It's not just all fun and games. It's not just all glitz and glamour. It's a lot of times you don't win. You need to be responsible. You need to have bankroll management. You need to have other side things set up and income and head yourself, whatever it might be. It's really important to say, look, this could be something you could do for fun, but most people, I'm not telling you to go, you shouldn't go pro. And especially like the age, a lot different when you're 18, 19, 20, 21 early than a guy, someone's like kind of say they're working, they're 30 years old and they say, I don't want to work anymore at IBM or at a job and I want to start playing poker. It's a little more pressure and it takes a while, right? I mean, you've been playing for over a decade.
Every people has hobbies,
right.
Like, yes, like poker can be like something like that. When you play tennis, you have to rent the court, you have to buy, like, I don't know the name, and the balls. So in the poker, you can like separate like one money, like the money per month, and play with this money, and it's okay. You don't need to concern about win. You the only thing that you need is to concern about have fun.
Right.
Poker is amazing. Thinking in this form, you know.
Yes, that's a great way to look at it. Exactly. It's entertainment. Same thing. You go to a casino and you play games or something. Shouldn't expect to win, and you're not going to win. In poker, though, you actually can have an advantage if you play well, work at your game, study, get playing in a spot. But exactly like you said, I think that's a really important thing to say. It's like a hobby or not a hobby. I love to say it's not a hobby on my show, but for many, it should be a hobby and not be taken too seriously, and just understand that. So yeah, I think that's a great message, and I like your attitude on that. What are some of the best stops you've been on? What's your live tournaments and traveling? Where's some of your favorite places to go in the world for both?
I love Vegas. I proposed my wife in Vegas also. I don't know
would
if
ask you,
you.
where did you meet your wife? How did you meet your wife?
Sorry.
Where did you meet your wife? How did you meet her?
I met my wife in chess also. She was also a chess player, and after that she started to play poker with me, and right now we are together.
That's awesome. Wow. So it started on the gaming. Was it live or online chess where you met her?
Live chess in a city in south of Brazil, in a chess tournament.
You played each other, or just were both there?
No, just in the same tournament, but we doesn't play against each other.
Very cool. That's the first. I've never heard of a chess romance. So that's that's a great story. I love to hear that. So very cool. What about children? Is that something that would you like to have children? Have you guys thought about that? Because you're still very young, both. And how old is she's younger than you even, no?
Well, no, she's one year later than me. I don't know.
You went for the cougar. Me too. My wife's older than me as well. So it's sometimes you have to, you go for the more mature. But yeah, is that something? Does that something that interests you, excites you, or you're just so much on your plate? I would imagine right now that it's how do you feel about that? Is that something you'd like to have?
Yes, a lot. I want a lot of children's, but I don't. She's streaming a lot this year, so she's in the top of her career. So we need to wait a little more. But I think in the next year we're starting to think about and starting to introduce in our family.
Very cool. Very cool. That's it's good to hear. How do you know? How long have you and Akari known each other? Because Akari been on the podcast. I've been to your guys actually, Furia GG in Boca. I've been to the studio, visited there. He's come here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. How have you and Akari become to know each other?
I know Akari since my beginning in poker because he was already an idol when I started.
Right.
She's like, yes, he's one of the ambassadors of poker in Brazil.
Right.
Like he played for like 16 or 17 years. He's crazy. But when we start to as friends, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years, and they starting to traveling together, have conversations and something like that. And right now we are like family.
Yes. Yeah, he's a great guy. It's a good guy to have in the family for sure.
Yes.
What to you is the best way to study nowadays in terms of there's PO solvers, there's all these different things. What's a curriculum or let's just take 4Bet for example. What is some of the stuff you guys are doing that you show your students, and how do you teach them, or how do you improve their game or work to do that?
We have a lot of hand analysis. A lot. How was your process of mind in this situation? Tell to me, and I understand his thoughts, and I'm trying to correct his weakness. Something like that. We have also a lot of studies with big data. Range researches, hand to note, holding manager. It's like how the field play against me in this situation.
The
I take
population tendencies, right?
yes, population tendencies, yes, perfect. And hand reviews, like tournament reviews and solvers, man. I stood a lot with solvers in the last 2 or 3 years, and it's crazy because it's very hard, and it's very you lost a lot of time with these studies, and it's very difficult to find some real tendencies, some real things that whoa, it changed my entire game. So it's very important to theory, to understanding
Right,
about equilibrium, to understanding the game in in a better way, but
right,
I think for MTTs, for mid stakes MTTs, for high stakes MTTs, the most important things is like hand reviews, tournament reviews, how the way you think, how the villain think about me, and something like that.
right. What would you say the game, how it's changed? Like, let's just say in the last 3 to 5 years. Like, for example, I would assume, you've gotten, we all would like to believe that we've gotten much better, right? Like what you know now versus 5 or 10 years ago is a much different player. Do you think if you took what you knew right now and took yourself back 7 years, 8 years, would you
It's
just
crazy.
be crushingly better than everyone? Or do you think that because you have to kind of keep up with the tendencies of what's happening, if you took your game right now and plugged it into 2010, would you just be that, like, annihilate the competition, or would the style of what's right now maybe not work so well then? How do you view that? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Do you think that you could take yourself 2020 Rafa and take you to 2010, and would you even have won more money or been better then, or not necessarily? Does that make sense?
Yes, I think 100% sure. If me with my background in poker and my intelligence and my all the hours that I spent studying poker and understanding about the game, if I have in 2010 now, I think I I I was one of the best players in the world, maybe the best player. I think because it's crazy, Jeff. The game is so much more difficult now. So much more difficult now. In like 10 years ago, we it's we don't have a lot professionals. We have a lot of fishes like players like playing some kind of blackjack, doing all in, doing un- understanding like nothing about the game,
Muito
and
peixe. A lot of fishes, a lot of peixe bet.
yes, a lot of fish.
Now people,
And
yeah, it's different. It's different.
like the proportion, the proportion, uh, uh, regulars, uh, top players, and recreative guys and fish guys right now, it's crazy. Like a little fish, a little recreative guys, and a lot of medium regs and top regs. It's crazy. And in 2010, it's like top regs, medium regs, recreative guys, and fish. So like the rise in online tournaments 10 years ago, it's like 15%, it's like 70%, 80%. Right now, if you have a player that have 20%, he's one of the best in the field.
Right. Yeah, it's different times for sure. What do you think there could be another boom in poker? Do you think that they're like, if the US becomes fully legalized or something like that? Obviously, I mean that's not so easy, but do you see there could be another boom, or do you think that we've seen the best, or do you think it's only going to get worse, or do you think it could get even back to better, but maybe not where it once was? What's your feeling on that?
I think the difficulty today about a boom or about increased numbers of players today
Right.
is new players. It's
Yes.
the new players. And how is it possible? We want players that play poker for fun.
Right.
We don't want any more professional poker players. We don't want any more like recreative that thinking that I want to win money in poker. No, we need like we need players that play poker for fun, like entrepreneurs, like sports guys. We need become poker cool. In Brazil, it's perfect right now. You know, we create a atmosphere that is perfect for this. We have a lot of football players playing poker. We have a lot of actors, actors, singers, and playing poker. So it's man, it's very nice. It's a kind of a game that I can play with my friends. And okay, money, okay, it's okay. I'm just having fun. So
Right.
new people. But if America, it will be like open market again. It's
Mhm.
completely crazy. I think it's the biggest boom possible in poker. And
And
man,
it looks,
I pray for like for this every day.
yeah, I mean, the reality is too is, daily fantasy sports betting passed at a federal level in the US. So now it's every state is able to do it. They have to pass it. It's a big deal. Michigan passed. That's the state I'm from. Pretty big state, pretty popular poker state. Pennsylvania, it's a big state. They passed. Nevada has it. New Jersey has
And
it.
California.
What's that?
And California, no,
No, that's wishful
not
thinking.
yet.
California, that would be everything's in business then. If that goes through, that's the biggest one. That would be like the third largest country in the world if California passes. So, they're trying, but it's like, it's crazy because I don't know, do people do they play daily fantasy sports in Brazil like for football? Are they watching?
No,
It's not
like on. Yes, we have like Cartola was the name, but don't doesn't have like money involved. But it's like a fantasy game. I think the fantasy game is a big market in America.
Yeah, it's huge,
Yeah,
massive. I mean,
sick.
crazy massive. But yeah, it's I think there's an opportunity. Yeah, it is what it is, right? It's difficult times if you're a professional and grinding. It's not as juicy as it was, but that happens in everything, in trading, in different industries. The markets, the margins go down. Things there's waves, right? Even in coffee, right? The margin, big profits, then none or low, and you just kind of have to stick in there and do it if you love it. And that's why I always tell people too. It's good to have other things, like yourself. You do well in poker, but you have business. You get involved in other things, and you. It's not just strictly poker isn't what you're relying on. And I think that's really important to people as well. No matter how good or not you are, that you kind of have some other things, or you don't just rely on one thing. And that's just, that's common sense, right? To not put all your eggs in one basket. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's very exciting. I'm very, very, it's great to get to chat and know a little more about Brazil and what about football teams, teams you support? Who's your team in Brazil and out of Brazil? Are you a big fan of football?
Yes, I love football. I'm not actually a big fan because the majority of the games are in Sundays. So in Sundays I'm playing online.
Right.
So I can't like accompany and okay and hanging and something like that. But I support São Paulo, like the name of my city, one of the biggest soccer teams in Brazil,
Right.
and it's not like some in the last 5 years we haven't win some nice titles, but it's okay.
Yeah. But and you've been to PSG, you've seen Neymar play there, Barcelona and stuff. Like what about is that you is I mean, I imagine he's your favorite player. You love to follow and sweat
Yes,
him. Do you
I
keep up with
support
some?
PSG. I support PSG right now, but just because of Neymar and because he's my friend, and I like to see him, and I like to see he happy. So I want PSG goes to the Champions League final, and I'll.
Oh, just froze for a sec. Can you hear me? Shit. Shoot. Sec. Oh, I think it's on his end. Hang tight. Going to be some difficulties sometimes. Can't control it, guys. Hang with us. I think Rafa will join us back in 1 second. It was his computer, he says. Hang tight. So again, if you guys don't know who Rafael Moraes is, Moraes, it's actually pronounced Moraes, but I always say that. He is one of the top online players in the world, top poker players. GM Walter is a screen name. We battled a ton back when we were playing a lot of volume, and really humble, great guy. We're learning more about him and what he's got going on, and we are going to chat more with him in a second. I think his internet went down, so he's just resetting that. We do have other guests. Eric Afriat, who won 3 WPTs, pretty crazy. He is at Monday, I believe. We got Danny Tang coming up, some other super, super interesting guests lined up. Want to be knocking out a lot for you guys. Trying to get to 100 by the end of 2020. We are at 47 with Rafa today, and we will continue on here and then get to your guys' questions as we are gonna be. There's a lot. You guys got a lot, and we're gonna knock those out. So I'll show you just kind of run through against some of his stuff. You can see his career, very impressive, some big scores, deep runs, and then online though, I mean, that's really where he got it done. Online on 4 million alone. He won a $1 million score that's not registered here, and you can see, I mean, he's got well over 6 million online. Tournament earnings was as high as 13th ranked in the world based on the sliding scale on pocket fives. Just an absolute crusher, great guy. And we are going to be back with him in a second. If you guys have questions, you can ask here. Jeff Rogan at 100. Mine is laggy as well. Okay, that's possible. It's possible that is the case, but I think it should be good. I'm going to go ahead and run through these guys. And go ahead and got 57 questions. You guys will be eligible for a $55 ticket. We're going to go through and knock these questions out with Rafa right now in case he hasn't answered some of these. We've covered some, but biggest online score. That is a sick score. Some interesting questions. We'll take as many of these as we can. Kind of run through this. Aha moment. Loving the questions, guys. Great questions. I think he's about 29 years old. 29, almost 30. We covered some of these. I think he's going to be joining back here in a sec. Hang with us, guys. Hang tight. He's back, I think. I see you, but I can't hear you. Oh, add to stream. Hello?
Hello.
I did.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear me?
Sorry, guys. I have
no worries. Hey, listen, I wouldn't even believe you're in Brazil if the internet was perfect and no cut for the whole time. There's always a little hiccup. I've had some issues. How is the internet where you're at? Do you have great fiber optic now? I think they got it in the last few years, right? Or did you have it before?
Yes, it's like fiber optical, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Listen, stuff happens. I had Hashim on
yesterday. But lucky.
Yeah, it happens. All right, well, we have covered a ton. I'm going to ask you a few more when I think of some stuff as we're going through, but let's dive into the questions on Twitter. Guys, again, eligible for a $55 ticket. We'll do a retweet a random generator at the end, and we'll kind of knock out some rapid fire questions here with Rafa. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. If you would be the owner of some brand new poker room, what would be the name of your room? What would you name your card room?
It's not nice. Maybe GM Poker.
GM
Nice.
Poker. All right. And you're sponsored currently? Are you locked up with the deal? Do you have a company? Because I know you were entertaining numerous deals. Do you have a official sponsor currently?
Yes, I had a sponsorship with a skin of GG Poker that called Latina Poker, but they are ended up. It's works in Brazil, so right now I'm a free agent. But
Let's chat after. Let's make sure. Let's make
can be.
I like it.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. I'll take a maybe. Crypto, thoughts on crypto overall. What is the Brazil consensus and your consensus on crypto currencies?
Man, I like Bitcoin. I'm start buying Bitcoin at $3,000 or maybe less. I buy Bitcoin with 600 the price, but a few, and I like the idea. I like the way of blockchain and some areas that we can like made a very difference in the contracts, in the online contracts, in the apps, and in our technology, but I don't know about like Bitcoin will be the new US dollar, will be the new coin, the coin of the future. So I don't believe in this anymore, and I have some, but just like a gold, like reserve, and it's like that. I know I have a lot of friends that love Bitcoin, and the majority of his patrimony is in Bitcoin, but I think it's like crazy.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's funny how that worked with poker in general, because people kind of had it, or just ways of settling, or different things. And it's funny, say your net worth is X, and now you came into some Bitcoin, and then it went up from, like, let's say you got it at 1,000 or 800, and now it was at 18,000, and you might hold it. It's kind of sick because it can just get moved so fast. And I know so many people in poker who just held it. And now it's ridden down all the way to 3,000. It's back to over 9, but it's kind of like crazy, right? Like if you think about, say you had 100,000 and now you have 1 million, and you don't cash out like a lot, it's kind of crazy. But I know a lot of people like that just kind of their net worth went up so much, but they just like said, oh, like I'm just gonna. They just don't, it's funny like that. It's similar like online. If you hit a score, until you move it out of your account, it's not really real, right? You got to like you got to take ownership of it. And then decide if you want to go back. But very cool. It's interesting. And I know in Brazil, my understanding is that people are aware of it, and it's semi-popular. People kind of like it, but I guess it's just anywhere. It depends, right? It's not for the faint of heart. 10%, and you wake up in the middle of the night, you could be down or up 10%. It's not normal. It's definitely for action. People like action.
It's crazy. Yes, exactly. I don't know, maybe 10 or 20% of your patrimony. I think it's okay. More than that, it's crazy. Like I think that 10% per then, less than 10% more, and 3K and six months ago, and right now is 9K. It's crazy. It's I think our life, my life, and your life also. We are professional poker players. We have a lot of variance in our life. I don't want like a coin that with more variance than my life. It's crazy. I have a lot of variance right now.
Yes, no, it's a good point. You're right. Yeah, I think 5 to 7%, if you is probably plenty. If you have in like 20 to 50 or whatever, it's a little bit. It's a little too crazy. Let's keep these questions going. Favorite, or how did you celebrate winning the 1 million? Did you anything out of the ordinary that you did, or did you guys go right out? What time did the tournament end? Did you get to go out that night, or you had all your friends already at your house, basically, right? They were in town.
Yes, the tournament ended like 10 p.m. in Brazil, and I have like 10 friends in my house, and I called for more 10 or 20 friends, and all of them come to my house, and we started drinking and some partying, and it was amazing.
Nice night to remember. Have you ever had a regular job before? You got in pretty early, but have you ever made money from anything else besides poker? Pre-poker,
No.
I guess business side. You all just right into poker?
No, I was a student and a university student. I've never had some different work than poker and teacher of poker.
Right. Right. Okay. And someone here asking a question in Portuguese, Daniel Carballo. So I don't know if you can see that. What is he saying?
Rafael, por que pensas que o poker cresceu tanto em tu país? It's like, Rafael, why poker become bigger in Brazil? That was the question. We've already talked about it in the podcast, but it's like because the poker is so cool. A lot of sports and personalities playing poker, and I think because also our I don't know, it's not coin like real per dollar, it's very cheap. So if you earn money in dollar in Brazil, you have a lot more stability. So because this we have in Brazil a lot of professional poker players in small stakes, because a player that win like $300 per month in America is crazy, but in Brazil you won more than minimum salary. So it's possible to live here with $500 per month. It's okay. It's not too good, but it's okay.
How do you decide what's the turnover like in your 4-bet team, and what's the process to get accepted? Or do you guys, what does it fluctuate between on a monthly basis? How many members are in your team? Do you let go? Do you bring new ones, or do you try to keep it around 300? Was a number you mentioned, or how does that work?
What you
talk about? How many members do you have like that are part of your 4-bet team that are
okay
that you guys are stable?
Okay. We have around 400 players playing for us, and like the way that we accept the players, it's like around prospects. It's like we have like a site, and the players 2 times per year we open the prospects, and we have a lot of informations that you need to farm, and after that we see one per one, and we start to think to see some perfumes, that this player is nice, this player isn't nice, and something like that. But the majority of the things that we want to a player that want to become our team is like more than 2,000 games online, like a profitable player, and a player that have some money to pay your bills and something like that, and the other things like his stats, like his background about poker, and we have a conversation after that to understand his efforts, to understand what he wants about poker, and
how much turnover is it though? Are you bringing in new players on a monthly basis? Are players leaving on a monthly basis, or is it pretty consistent? Like
about prospects? No, we have two prospects every year. So 6 months per 6 months.
Oh, you bring in 2 new people every 6 months?
Yes, true.
So it's like a tryout almost. It's like a training. You take the best of who apply.
Yes, exactly.
And what about releasing players? Is that
how
often does that happen?
Not one new player per process. We have a selective process that. But okay, in the next year we open a new process. Maybe 50 players or 100 players can enter, but after that stop it, and only in 5 months we started a new process.
Right. And what are the range of buy-ins from your stable? Guys are playing as low as what? $10, $5 tournaments up to the biggest, or what? How does it work?
Yes. We have like players that play tournaments that $1. It's like our micro guys, and we have players that play like the million South America, that was the buy-in was $10,000. We have like all the stakes. A lot of players playing different stakes.
The most let's just take your sample, because you have, like, say 400 players. They play micro, mid, and high stakes. What's the more lucrative? Is it maybe in that sweet spot in like the $20, $50 tournaments, the best players can win the most? Or in terms of, do you I mean, because the highest stakes, it's tougher, right? There's not a ton, I would imagine. But what do you find is the best spot?
I think the best spot nowadays is the mid stakes tournaments. I think like the average, like the tournaments between $10 and $55, I think is the better ROI, and the majority of the players win in these stakes. It's not like in high stakes you can win more, obviously, like $100 plus. It's better to win money, but it's much more difficult.
Right. Makes sense. Someone's asking the most valuable item you own. Do you have like, I don't know, a car or some kind of thing that's like it doesn't actually have to be monetary. What's like the most precious thing you own? A trophy from a tournament or a win or anything like, what's your most valued item for you?
When in 2017, when I won a scoop for $300,000, I won like a watch. So it's like my trophy,
Very cool.
But only this, when I won this tournament, that million tournament, I'm not by nothing yet.
How do you handle downswings? Have you ever had, I'm sure you've had downswings. We all had downswings. It's just part of what happens. Does that affect you emotionally, or are you pretty much even keeled? Like when you win $1 million, or if you go on a downswing for a month or a few weeks, do you have any tricks when it's not going well for you to feel kind of mentally better? Anything to snap out of it? Or do you just try to, what's your routine there?
It's a tricky like question for me, because I think my mental game is very good. I think one of my best skills in that, like 10 years of my profession, I had some of downswings, some of 6 figure downswings, like maybe 3 or 4 downswings in this type. Only playing online. In live is a different like question, because in 1 year I played a lot of tournaments of 500 in 50k, 25ks, and something like that, and I have a different downswing. But I think I don't want to think about it. I don't. The only thing that I want to concern is my game. I just want to study, to play, and decrease my stakes, and starting to crush, and okay, my confidence is here. It's difficult to explain exactly what I think in English, but it's something like that.
And what about your daily preparation? Let's take a Sunday. This Sunday, you're going to play a full schedule. How does that look for you? Do you wake up, you meditate, do you work out, do you do breakfast, or do you just wake up and go right into it?
In Saturday is important for me, because I need to have a night of good sleep, you
Right.
know, and starting like I want to wake up 2 or 3 hours before playing, and I have some lunch and I have some preparation. I'm starting to see what tournaments I'm gonna play today, and for not registering in any tournament that will prejudicated like the other tournament, the better tournament that will start in 2 or 3 hours, and something like that. And like meditation and some workout in Sunday, no, in Sunday I just wake up and I just preparate in this form my
Right.
Sunday grind.
Very nice. And you said, what's the most you've ever played at one time tables? You said you like to do usually 12 and on a Sunday or something, but what's like the most you just like had open ever?
Sorry, how many tables I played?
Maximum you've ever played at one time.
Uh, uh, it's a nice history because when I played SNGs in my beginning,
Yeah.
I played a lot of simultaneous table, of 55 tables per time. I played
55?
yes
55 tables at a time.
yes in my like one year and 1.5 in my career. I played a lot
That's like
of
Nano Noko.
tables
Nano
because
Noko
yes,
world
Jeff,
record.
in one day, in 24 hours, I played 1,000 SNGs in one
Wow.
day of
Was it
grind.
profitable? Profitable?
Yes, yes.
That's
I started to play like the $6 SNGs, and after the hour 20, I was playing like the 12, the $24 SNGs. It was
right.
crazy.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's really. So did you ever play online cash, or do you play any cash live, or strictly tournaments?
It's strictly tournaments. Just in Brazil, sometimes I play cash live, but I don't like. I prefer to to put all my efforts in MTTs, and I think it's not nice to play cash and MTTs. I think it's a different way, a different mind, a different type of game, and I prefer to put only my
Right.
mind in MTTs.
Yeah. What about PLO? Do you play any mixed games, any other formats?
No, never,
No PLO?
never played pillow.
Very fun.
Sick.
Very fun game.
Only holding. But
Yeah.
it's a thing that I wanna chant. I want to learn PLO.
Yeah, it's fun. I think you pick it up very fast. It's
You play also?
yeah, I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
I play the tournaments. I play on Party, whatever they got going on Sunday, the good ones. The last KO series Sunday, I had the two big ones. I final table both 2100 and the 320. But I mean, it's not, they're not huge fields. Like I forget what the guarantees were, but I like it. It's fun. It's different to PLO cash and tournaments, and there's no antes. And it's an interesting game, but it's a lot of gamble, and it's you're diving into a rabbit hole. It's a whole nother deal, right? I'm trying to learn No Limit Hold'em, better first. I want to get better, learn that game, try to master it more. But it's constantly changing. It's fun. It's a blast. I love poker, and I would like to learn mixed games as well. I don't know if that's popular in Brazil. Do people play them or not really?
Not so much.
Like
Yeah, it's not so much.
Yeah, it hasn't caught on yet. Yeah, it's one thing at a time. We'll get there. Tell me about a couple Brazilian maybe they're in your 4-bet team or other guys, or who's like the guys that are playing a lot and are really, really killing the game, just absolutely active in the online community, and maybe some new guys we haven't heard of, or some other guys that are who are some names that you think are really playing well and at a high level now?
Yes, we have a lot of players that a lot no, but like 4 or 5 players that are playing in high level right now. We have Bedias. I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
We
no,
have
yeah.
Sage Star that won 10K in South America, but not the main event. The other one, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, I know exactly the one. Probably
Let
like
me see.
200,000 or 300,000 first or something.
Yes, we have Guzma that made 10th place in W Cup main event this year. So we have some of these guys. We have Mr. Bitar that I think that is one of our players that player the highest stakes online,
How old is he?
and he's doing very good. Mr. Bitar, MR point Bitar.
Yeah, that's
It's
on
a very
Stars.
nice.
I don't, well, obviously party names are unknown. How old is he?
Yeah.
I feel like he's been around for a while too, yeah?
Yes, I think he's 30. I don't know,
Yeah,
32,
so same
33.
time
I
as
don't know.
you.
Yes.
Where do you rank Brazil in the rankings if you had to in poker in terms of skill level, like I think historic, whatever. Do you feel it's like fast improving? Because I think back in the day, Brazilian for being splashy, too much gamble, reckless. But do you feel like is that fair or has that changed? Where is Brazil on the world poker map now in terms of quality and skill level?
When I started to play, Brazil is like a joke in scenario. Yeah. Every Brazilian, "Oh, okay, he's like a donkey, he's like a monkey, he's like, oh, okay, I have a Brazilian in my table. Yes, what a dream."
Yeah.
But right now, I think we have a lot of very, very good guys. One, I think our I can think like in 20 names or 30 names that one of the 100 best players, online players in the world. We have a lot of very, very, very good guys. Maybe Brazil nowadays is one of the best countries in the world playing poker. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no, there's definitely it's a very hard thing, of course, because if you look at let's just say the top, if you were to do it and take the top 25 players in every country and take that pool, but then you could say, what about the mid stakes? What about overall? It's hard. You're talking mean, median, mode. What are you talking? But yeah, no, it's for sure the quality of the best players. There's certainly a lot of really, really strong, formidable players now.
Yes, man, mid stakes and low stakes is. I'm completely sure that Brazil are the best.
I
If you
will say in the
if you
lobby, I see a lot of Brazil flags. There's tournaments where I'll look at these, storms, these like lower $10, $20 main events, and it's like, oh, I see like 5, 6 Brazilians in the last 15.
exactly,
Crazy,
we
yeah.
have a lot of professionals playing these stakes here.
Yeah. Someone here asking who's the best, actually a couple different questions. Someone's asking about that. Well, who's the best Brazilian football player ever? Give me a couple names of history of Brazil. Who do you think is the best
I
ever?
think Pelé is the best,
Right.
and Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Neymar. I think these four names. Romario,
Remember
one
Mario, Bebeto. I remember
great guys.
Rivaldo. Yeah,
Bebeto, yes.
a lot of good. The baby celebration in the World Cup. All right. Do you remember the first live tournament you played, where you got heads up tournament in that tournament? Do you remember all the way back to like the first one you ever played? What it was like?
Yes, I remember the first tournament ever that I played in Brazil. I was underage and I have like a different ID, and I play it and I made the money. It's so crazy. Oh yes, amazing. And in Vegas, I remember also my first cash that was this heads up tournament in Caesar's Palace.
Right.
It's a nice remembrance.
Nice memory. What did your
Yes.
parents know you had a fake ID and you were going and playing poker, or did you just go and do it and they didn't know at the time?
Sorry?
Did your parents know that you were underage and you had an ID and going to play poker, or was that not
No.
talkking about then?
Yes, I'm not talking.
Yeah,
Yes, talking about that. But
Yeah,
it's only one time. It's only one time. Like in 2 months, I will be 18, and it was okay.
Okay, fair enough. Did you ever have a moment in poker where you thought you might stop, or you were like, man, this is too hard, or I don't really want to do this, or have you just always been a man that keep going forward?
I love poker. I I think it's my life. After when I was 17, I'm starting to study. I knew this market and this scenario, and after that I breathe poker. My life is poker, and my wife's life is poker also. So it's
Right.
impossible to stop playing poker and to stop play to do another thing. But I don't know about online, maybe. And live poker, I have 100% sure that will be like uh, a very profitable, like forever. But online is difficult because solvers, because bots, because I don't know. It's very difficult to put new players in play. But nowadays, I think it's okay right now. Yet, I think every professional can win money yet, but I don't know till when. But live forever, I think.
Right. I think that's fair. That's a good way to look at it. Age, you're 30, 29?
29.
29,
No,
almost big.
sorry, 28.
28.
28.
All right. Yeah.
In 2 months, 29. In 2 months, 29.
um, almost 20. Oh, okay. It's getting close to 30. A lot of, what about, let's see. What do you do? Yeah. So people are asking them, like, so in terms of the score though, that night you partied, you whatever, but there was you didn't like go out buy a house in USA or any kind of crazy impulsive purchase. Pretty laid back. There was no new car, new kind of some sort of treat for yourself for that performance, or nothing big.
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know exactly. I'm gonna think about my life in like 5 or 10 years. I don't know if I'm stay here in São Paulo. We just have like money and waiting uh, some years to start thinking about we are going to do with our money.
Is in Brazil? Talk to me about Sao Paulo in terms of homes, just so I understand correctly, or maybe share with the viewers. Is it common for people? So people rent, but in terms of like mortgages or buying, most people buy their homes fully, or do they do like mortgages? Let's say you want to buy, I don't know, $100,000 house in Brazil in dollars.
Okay, like you pay like 20 or 30% right now, and put the hello.
I'm here.
Okay, just a second.
Yep.
Okay, and just a second. Okay, and after that you go to a bank and you make like a, I don't know the name, like uh imprestimo. Let me see, just a second.
It's interesting because it's funny, like college.
Yes, it's very different.
Yeah, things are super. It's like interesting in different parts of the world where I'm fascinated by. It's
You
just
go
like,
to a bank and make a loan,
yeah.
like, and pay like 1% per month to the bank, and the bank pay to the owner of the house that are you buying. You
Oh
you
wow,
know
1% a month.
Yes, it's something like that.
Wow, very interesting. But so a lot of people buy directly, right? They buy like in full what they buy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I heard, which is
But I think the majority do this, like pay 20 or 30%, and the rest make a loan with some bank.
very interesting.
I don't know if it's exactly 1% per month, but it's something like that, like 0.8, 0.7, but per month. It's not per year.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Okay. And if you had to give an advice to someone who wants to start, let's say they're 20 years old, they're out of college or late in college, they're starting to get into it, what would be one thing you would tell someone in today's age of the poker world? What would be a piece of advice you would give them to get started, to become a professional, if they want to do that?
First of all, have fun. Second of all, just stop your job, your school, if you have really a lot no, but some money, like that you won in poker, and after that, okay, you can try, but you need to know that nowadays it's very, very, very hard to become like a professional, and it's very difficult to make like nice. You like, how I say this, like, goes down the university and your job to become a professional
Right.
like poker player. It's very difficult when, like, how uh, how was the time that I need to quit my job and to quit my university? This is the wrong question, because when is the right time, you know. It's like, it's not a event, it's like a natural question,
Natural progression. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Very, very, very true. Um, would you say that um, if you were to give one piece, well, let me ask it this way: if you were to give a piece of advice or suggestion to the titans of the poker industry in terms of the leaders of this big sites, what would be one thing you would like to see change or be different? Let's, Rob Young at Party Poker, whatever, whoever's running stars these days, Phil at ACR, these other major sites. What would you tell them, or what could make a difference to make the community more successful in longevity? What would be something you would recommend?
About like the things that they can do different.
Yeah, it could be as easy as a suggestion, I don't know, big blind nanny, timing, making the breaks more longer, shorter, speed of tournaments, any kind of suggestion, just to like, let's just focus on tournaments, right? Because cash games are,
Okay, yeah, sure.
let's just say multi-table
Okay.
tournaments, for, taking in consideration, you have a team, a stable sort of professionals, people doing for a living. There's also people doing recreationally. What would make something more enjoyable and more lucrative for the poker community, that you think could be a better to fix or a change? Is there anything
Nice.
that stands out for you?
Nice. I think the most important part of online poker is, I don't know if is the word, but jogability. You know?
Okay. Jogability.
Yes. Is that the word or no? It's
Playability?
like
Playability? Playing is yoga. Right?
playability. Yes, yes. Like the playability, like the way of the software. Uh, when like a recreative guy,
A
a
recreation.
player that recreational guy,
That's my
a player
favorite.
that
You can tell a Brazilian the R's. They say you don't pronounce the R's. So if anyone hears some of these words, recreational, it's recreational. But I love that. That's my favorite part about my wife when she talks. I love when she doesn't pronounce the R's. But I know exactly what you're saying. And your English is very, very good, for the record. It's very good. So you say it's not, it is. But the R's, that's the hard part about Brazil, the English in Brazil.
yes.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt you there. Recreationals
Okay.
are
I
what?
think the most important part for these players is the playability. Like, when you open the website or the app for the site, you need to have uh, a nice impression. You have to play in a nice table, in a smooth software. So I think all the sites need to improve this. I think uh, this time stars poker stars is yet in front of this, but party
Yeah.
poker is growing a lot and starting to making a new software or improving the software. And I think we have some more competition, in the next year, and in this year also, I think.
No, it's great. It's true. I think Party will be the first to say stars is the standard on guarantees, size, also the software, but for sure the gap's closing quickly and very active, and it's good. It's good for everyone when there's competition. If it's just one, yeah, like you said, you're playing on 4, 5, 6 sites. There's good to have options, good to have a player pool in different varieties of different formats. So
Yes.
very good.
And you see, oh, okay, let's raise the guarantee and we have a lot of more players. No, you have a better site with less guarantee and you have a lot more players playing there because the players want like a smooth software, like the playability. I think is that.
Yeah, I like. I'm with you on that. What which events do you look forward to each year online and live? Give me your the World Series. You mentioned Vegas. You love going to Vegas. You're there for the summer. It's like a summer camp. All your friends, people are there. Tournaments every day. It's pretty unique. What about online? Give me like a few of the ones or series or events. Do you like more knockouts or do you like the freeze outs? There's the 10K, 20 mil on Party. You won the $1 million on the Venom. What are some of the ones you like the most though? Like that you get excited for, even just
every nice series with a lot of guarantee, I'm gonna play. So W Cup, Ace Cup, KO series, I don't know, freeze out series, wherever they PartyPoker called that series, I'm gonna play. So, but like the most important part of the time for me playing is Vegas and Barcelona, and after that W Cup, and after that and before that is Cup. These parts of the years I'm always playing every day and playing online. Yeah,
for sure. What's your do you play when you travel? What's your setup? You take a laptop with the spare monitor, or do you or what you like to play at home mostly, or how do you do that? You mix it. Sometimes you're traveling, sometimes you're at home, or you play majority at your house on your comfortable setup.
Online nowadays I only play in my house, and because when I go Vegas I can't play online there,
Right.
on in ACR, and when I'm going to Barcelona also because Spain is a closed market, so in the most of my sessions I play in my house here in my setup. Uh, but when I go travel like to my mother's house, to my wife's mother's wife house, yes, I take my notebook and a monitor and I play there. But it's rare.
Yeah. What about sports? Do you play any sports, or did you growing up? Other than that, you played chess as a growing up. What about sports?
Yes. Right now I do gym and also beach tennis. I don't know. It's like a new sport that was created in Italy. That's like tennis, but you play in beach, and a different racket, like with carbono, and you play without the ball pinging in the floor, and it's a nice sport. I'm in love with this. Beach tennis is the name.
That's amazing. That's very cool. Yeah, no, I played the fuchi volley with you. I play with the guys. That's very fun exercise. That's quite a workout.
It's very difficult.
Man,
yeah, it's very difficult.
Such a great game, but it is difficult. All right, well, we're gonna do a giveaway. Anything else that we're gonna talk about here? I mean, we covered a lot. We showed some of your online results. I remember there was one stream. I don't know if you remember where you won it. I think it was a 500 on stars. My two friends had their sombreros on next to me and we were three-handed and you took that
Sunday
down.
500.
The Sunday 500. Yeah, it was a nice score. Great tournament back a few years ago. Man, crazy amount of results. How much do you think you've cashed over online? It's like what they're missing the $1 million score. It's like over, so it's well over 6-7 million. I mean, you've had quite an online poker career. And
maybe 7 million, maybe something like that. 7.4, 7 million.
And your parents now, are they obviously they were supportive of your dad? You said read the book, kind of understood poker, was very supportive. Like, do they watch you? Do they watch your wife's streams? Are they following along with your action and on social media? They must think it's pretty cool. You run, not only are you playing poker, but you are one of the partners or founders and runners of 4Bet, and you got this eSports. Are they just like super excited and they are immersed in your stuff, or how much do they pay attention and watch?
My parents aren't so active in social media because they don't know how it works.
Right.
But they see like my final tables, my live tournaments, and every time that I win some big tournament, the first thing that I do is call to them and father, mother, and I win one of the biggest tournaments in my life, and some months and it's nice. It's amazing.
That's awesome. No, it is cool. It's nice now, technology and these type of things they can see, or you can show them, or maybe they see on TV or a replay, or they get to watch your content on 4Bet. It's very fun. Let me ask you last question. Team 4Bet. So I saw a question in the Twitter as well. What is your methodology of teaching? Do you guys have a program that you run through? Do you guys do course stuff? How often and what are you doing to teach and educate your players in your 4Bet 400 person stable? What is, how do you guys train them?
We have two times per week lessons, 3 hours in one time per week, like in group lessons that we discuss hands, we discuss tournaments, we discuss strategies, we discuss psychology, we discuss about everything about the game. And one time per week is with another teacher. The player only see solver stuff, solver stuff, population stuff, and something like that. And one time per month, every player have one by one conversation that we see their stats. We talk about their life, about their expectations, and we keep the contact close to understand what they need to become like the better players and to win more money.
Very, very cool. That's interesting. And what is actually the goal of 4Bet? Like, is it primarily like when you're doing social media or advertising, are you trying to find and get new players in? Are you promoting a course at all? Do you guys have an educational product for purchase, or is it more just you get players, you stake them or get them in your stable and you're profiting that way? What is the business model behind 4Bet? What are the ways you're looking to grow?
Yes. I think a little of all these things that you told. I think we can make a course. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think my battery of my phone is going down in
we're almost done.
Minutes. Okay, it's okay. And we want make some course. We want make a better staking. We want to have more and more representativity in our scenario and something like that. I think we are doing a great job, and we continue to doing this job in the following years.
I love it. Rafa, we got to get you on Stake Kings, man. I've talked to you about it before. I want to get you put a little bit of your action, give people a chance to have Sweat, GM Walter, maybe, do a little promo with 4Bet where some of the better players, they put up a few things for fun, but we'll talk about that later. I would love to have you guys be involved with that.
Okay, nice.
So we got other stuff to talk about. I want to talk after the show, checking on a couple things. I really appreciate the time. I know you are fresh off partying Carnival. Thank you for I appreciate the time, man. I know you're very busy, so it's great. Your English is great, and you're a great, humble guest. And really, it's great to call you a friend and be my Brazilians. I got extra love for them with Akari, Felipe, these different guys. I've gotten closer with some other guys. João and I always have pronounced, or somehow pronouncing his name. And there's so many other guys too that I've gotten to know that are just, the Brazilian energy is just unbelievable. Like the passion that you guys see for how your friends, when they do well or make a final table, how much, genuinely they want others to do well. It's noticeably, it's visible. And I got a lot of love for Brazil and all the Brazilians out there. So again, thank you for being a great ambassador representative. And I don't think you can hear me right now because your headphones went off, but did you hear me or no? You heard a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, yeah.
But yeah, man, look, I got nothing for love for you and all the Brazilians out there too. And Boa Noite, Boa Tarde, all the good stuff. Enjoy. And let's do a giveaway on your behalf. You tell me when. I have copied and pasted the question we did for today. This is a $55 ticket retweet. Party Poker coming from courtesy of Rafa, who will tell me when to knock this down. Someone's going to win the ticket. So you tell me when, and someone's going to get a $55 ticket. It's on you. Tell me. Yeah, you tell me when to go.
Okay, just a second. Okay.
Go. Okay, vamos. There it is. And McLovin with a bunch of numbers. He's going to win a $55 ticket. Appreciate the retweet and the promotion. I'm going to send it to you courtesy of Party Poker and Rafa right there. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafa Moraes.
Yeah,
Moraes, we got it right.
Jeff, thanks a lot for the invitation. And guys, sorry about my English, but everything that I told is with my love. And thanks a lot. And see ya.
Yes, and appreciate it. Your English is great. Really, really a blast. Thank you again, man. We'll see you soon. I hope to run into you on a future stop. If you ever get down to Miami, let me know, and I'll be in hopefully Brazil not too long, and see you there as well. So thanks again.
Yeah, sure.
Say hi to Lali and everyone, and good luck, man. All right.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Cheers. Boa noite. All right, everyone. That was Mr. Rafa Moraes, who is the #1 all-time profitable player online Brazilian poker partner, one of the founders of Team 4Bet, also part of Furia GG, just all-around great guy. Hope you enjoyed. Leave the comments below. Let me know what you think, and hopefully we'll have him on in the future, and there'll be some more content with Rafa and 4Bet and all the boys. So again, great guest as usual. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast.